Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready for the Lancashire Hotpots virtual pub quiz? And here's your quizmaster, Dickie Ticker.
Welcome everybody, it's Monday night. Welcome to the Lancashire Hotpots virtual pub quiz. I'm Dickie, I'm your quizmaster. We're here for 30 to 40 minutes of fun. To join us tonight, you're going to need a pen, paper, a drink and some nibbles. If you're playing along with us tonight, stick your name in the box below. Maybe even let us know what you're having to drink and you're having to eat. Tag your mates in as well if you want them to play along at home. While you do all that, I'm going to speak to some very, very tasty young men indeed. It's the Lancashire Hotpots, and first up is Bernard. Bernard, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much, Dickie. My name's Bernard, and I'm from Lancashire.
Yay! Excuse me. Now then, Bernard, less the chit-chat because, before we do anything else, sorry, I haven't come down with the virus. I am, sorry.
Oh, he's got it. He must have it.
I'm on the Fire Eaters, Seabrooks, chili and lemon.
Nice.
It says searing hot. And they are indeed searing hot. So that's what's giving me a very dry, tickly cough. But I need to go straight to you because you've got a drink that has never been drunk by the band before. Go.
That's right. Well, I'll leave that till last. Let me just give you my my nibbles, because I'm also going for heat. Doritos stacks.
Aren't
wow,
they just
they look fancy.
Doritos
they're nice.
like Pringles?
They're
very
just Doritos, but they've been stacked in a tube.
They've just stacked them, you fool.
They've rebadged it. Again, you need to shuffle them now. Let me just give you the...
But as we discussed last week with contents of bags, you get like a big bag and you go, oh, look at this big bag. And you open it and it's like half empty. But at least with the Pringles and those stacks, they're pretty much to the top, aren't they? You know what you're getting.
Yeah. And they're described as Mexican chili salsa. And you can taste the salsa. Quite dry. So to whet my whistle, gentlemen, I got a can of dragon soup.
Ooh, 8%.
Its flavour is described as venom.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Not sure what that is. And let me just point you to that bit that says it's 8%.
So for your two nights, what for the people at home? What actually is a dragon soup?
I'm glad you've asked. Dragon soup is a falsified fermented schnapps drink containing high levels of caffeine. It's got 175 milligrams of caffeine in that can.
So it's an alcoholic buzz pop.
Yeah, and it's $2.99 a can, so it ain't cheap. But if you want to get your buzz on, get on the soup.
Is that technically a performance-enhancing drug for the quiz?
I think the caffeine would bring you up, but the 8% would take you down.
It's a
Okay.
leveler.
So, yeah, taste is okay. You can feel the heat from the schnapps. And other than that, it just tastes like pop.
And the police are already outside, just in case.
The Rozzers have realised, somebody's on the soup! Get them!
So obviously, this is a Coventry-based item. Whereabouts did you get it in Cov?
You can get it in all good one-stops.
where all the best liquors and hard liquors are required. Right, I'll leave you to your soup while we chat to some other fine young men who probably aren't going to be as buzzing at 8% as you are. Up next is Bob. Bob, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Bob. I'm from Lancashire.
Yay! Thanks for that, Bob. You can take as long as you want with your drink and your nibbles.
Obviously, a couple of weeks back, we got the Brewdog Big Deal, and there's still lots of that available. But this doing the big shop before, and this caught my eye. Look at this can.
Oh,
it's a can of Vocation. It's a hazy pale ale, but the can it's not smooth. It's got like
matte.
a texture.
Yeah, it's a matte
Yeah.
finish.
It's very nice. But also, because I'll finish that during the duration of the quiz, I've got a punk IPA for backup as well. And for nibbles, I think we've had these before. I can't remember if we've had the flavour before, but it's McCoy's Muchos spicy chili chicken.
Recently on special offer in Tesco, those as well. I don't know whether they're the same in Asda's as well.
Oh, well, I suppose so.
You remind me of the van then, going down gigs in the van.
Yeah. Bit of a heat.
Happy days, happy days. Right, well, you're sorted for tonight. You chillax, and we'll get quizzing very soon. Up next, it's the man who never lets us down in the comestibles front. It's Kenny. Kenny, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'll do cockers. Kenny Body here, and I'm from Lancashire. Thank you.
Right, well, as I say, you never let us down. You always delight and entertain the nation with your choices. So, what's your beer for tonight?
Well, I've stuck with the Brewdog, so I've had a few weeks on the Brewdog, so I've not mixed it up that much. But it's a new-ish beer that they brought out as it's topical, and it's the Barnard Castle Eye Test.
Oh yeah, classic.
Oh, nice.
Which is a hazy Durham IPA.
Oh, hey.
Nice.
I've not bothered with the glass this week. I'm just going straight from the can.
Are you, can you drive after drinking some of those?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not on the can, but I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that you can just drink as much as you want, and you can do like 200-mile drive. If you're not sure, just do a quick 30-minute. Just drink 5 and do a quick 30-minute trip
It's
first.
just one rule for Brewdog, another rule for everybody else.
Yeah,
Just a test.
And you don't need to stop and have a wee either.
so yeah, I've had a few of these already. It's quite refreshing. It's a bit like the Hazy Jane, but a little bit more citrusy. But yeah, it's very nice. Cheers.
Liking it a lot. And what have you got to soak up the eye test?
Well, I wasn't quite sure what to go with, so I thought Barnard Castle Eye Test. Jerk.
Why don't you just eat the wife's crisps?
No, I thought I did a bit of word association, and I said Barnard Castle Eye Test. Jerk. Jerky.
Nice.
A satirical snack. Satirical snack.
Yeah,
I like it. Well done, KB.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Up next, last but by no means least tonight, we have the man who's the medicine man. It's Dr. Ron. Ron, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, everybody. My name's Ron, and I'm from Lancashire.
Yay! As you can see, these intros aren't rehearsed. Well, I've had a bit of a sneaky peek talking to you as to what you've got with you tonight, but repeat it for the nation for me, please.
Well, as the nation knows, a few of us bought one of those humongous 48-can boxes of the Brewdog. I am on the very last of that stash tonight.
Really?
And I've also gone out and bought extra Brewdog as well. So
good
we
lad.
worked out that I'm on 10 plus cans of Brewdog every Monday evening, should I say? So tonight, creature of habit. I'm going to start big. I'm going to go with the Elvis juice. All right, so I'm starting with that.
Good man.
And again, as of last week, I can't get enough. I just can't get enough. It's the old nice and spicy knickknacks.
Classic.
Nobly sticks to fun.
Very tiny bag.
The multi-pack Malcolm. And have you got more than one this week?
Oh, yeah, but that one.
Well, ration
that's
yourself. Don't pick too soon. That's what we always say. Okay,
I
cheers, Ron. Thanks for that. 10 questions. You know the drill by now. It's the same 10 categories as always. Can I just remind people that the Lancashire Hotpots pub quiz now is sponsored each and every week by a Lancashire Hotpots item. This week, it's sponsored by the Lancashire Hotpots mugs. In our online store, we have a variety of mugs to hold your liquids, both hot and cold, including the ever-popular egg, sausage, chips and beans mug. Just Google Lancashire Hotpots mug, and I'm sure the internet will take you there. As I said, 10 rounds, 10 questions. Each correct question carries the value of 1 point. If you get 10 correct answers, you get 10 points. No answers in the comments, please. Just put them on your sheet. Hotpots, are you ready?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Hotpotters at home, are you ready? Well, let's get quizzing. Okay, here we go. Question number 1 is music, and right about now, the Funk Soul Brother is a line from a song by Norman Cook, but that's not the question. Norman has recorded under many musical nom de plumes. That's aliases to you and me. But he's got a massive nom de plume in the first place because Norman isn't Norman Cook's real name. What is his real name? Is it A, Arnold, B, Archibald, or C, Quentin? So Norman Cook, Norman isn't even his real name. What's his real first name? A. Arnold, B. Archibald, C. Quentin. Of course, some of us have met. Norman Cook will save that anecdote for the answers. Question number 2 is our films round. And who remembers the Beatles? Almost nobody in the 2019 film Yesterday, which was written by Richard Curtis. But who directed that film? Oh. So the 2019 film Yesterday, which was all about forgetting the Beatles. How did we do that? But who directed that film Yesterday?
Any clues? Because I don't know any film directors.
Didn't you start watching the film?
No,
I think somebody watched
don't-
it recently, but I don't know who.
No, it
It might
wasn't
be
me.
Bob.
I wouldn't watch any film that's got somebody from EastEnders in it.
Right, he's a British director. That's all I'll
Steven Spielberg, that's it, right.
say. I have to buy you a film encyclopedia for Christmas. Question number 3 is egg, sausage, chips and beans. And this week, it's all about the beans. And if you live round here, you'll know the Heinz factory in Wigan, opened in 1959, where they make said Heinz baked beans. But how many tons of dry beans does the Heinz factory use per week? Is it A, 800 tons? Is it B, 900 tons? Or is it C, 1,000 tons of dry beans a week? So
That's
the
a lot of
Heinz
beans.
factory in Orrell, all those neon signs outside as you drive past on the M6, that's where they make the Heinz baked beans with a Z. But how many tons of dry beans do they get through a week? Is it A, 800 tons, B, 900 tons, or C, 1,000 tons? Question number 4 is bitter lager cider ale and stout, and this week it's all about bitter. And I think it was last week where JB was drinking John Smith's bitter, which dates all the way back to 1892. But in which North Yorkshire location is the long-established John Smith's brewery based? Is it A, Tadcaster, B, Harrogate, or C, Wakefield? So the John Smith's brewery is a long-established feature in the landscape of a certain Yorkshire town. But is it A, Tadcaster, B, Harrogate, or C, Wakefield? So obviously asking Lancashire chaps about their Yorkshire knowledge.
Yorkshire.
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 No, not getting involved in that.
I missed it. Question number 5, as always, is our crisps round. And in 2017, Swedish brewers St. Erik's made what was said to be the world's most expensive crisps. They were hand-picked potatoes. Said crisps were flavoured with truffles, seaweed and matsutake mushrooms. There were just 5 crisps in a box. How much did that box cost? Was it
Too
A,
much, whatever it is.
$46, B, $56, that's $56, or C, $66 for
That's
5
about
crisps?
40 quid for 5 crisps.
Yeah. That's what the world's most expensive crisps come to. So yeah, did they cost A, $46, B, $56, or C, $66?
Either way, if you'd have gone on Doped Aldi, they'd have been well cheaper.
They'd have just done a knockoff version.
For 30 quid.
And can I make an observation about this evening's quiz? Is that we're all being a little bit quiet. I think we're all trying this week.
I think after last week's, dare I say...
after my win, is that what you're saying? After my win last week?
Miserable showing.
I've just got a gob full of jerky, that's all.
Got our quiz heads on. Anyway, I'm sure you'll all get the next question right, which is question number 6, because it's all about the Lancashire Hotpots. Now, the band, the Lancashire Hotpots, have played a lot of songs in their career, which is why Bernard really can't remember the words to them all. Now, which one out of these songs has the band never played live? Is it A, the Technical Support Song? Is it B, Bog Off? Or is it C, Duvet Day? Now, some of you might need to have a bit of a guess there, and that includes members of the band.
I did a blog about this.
Did you know?
But I did it a few years ago, actually, so perhaps the list needs updating. But I listed everything to my knowledge that we have not played. That's not helping me in this question whatsoever.
No. But it is a statement of fact. So which out of these 3 songs has the band never played live? Have a bit of a guess. A, the Technical Support Song. B, Bog Off. C, Duvet Day.
You'll get this one, won't you, Ron? Because, you're a long-standing member of the band.
Yeah, I'll get this one as I've never played any of those songs live. So I'll put all 3 down.
So question number 7 is the pie's the limit. And this week's featured pie is a key lime pie.
Ooh.
Now, tasty as it is, it's a bit like a cheesecake. And it's named after the very citrusy key limes, which is a fruit which naturally grows in which American state?
No suggestions. No.
You either know it or you don't. So, key lime pie is very much like a tangy American cheesecake, and it's named after a particular brand of lime called a key lime, and that naturally grows, and therefore the pie is associated with which American state? Look at that, 2 questions about American states, 2 weeks on the trot.
Oh, with some sort of Yankee Doodle dandy.
What is the point in joining? Absolutely outrageous.
I'm changing my answer on that one, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, I've changed my answer for 5 as well, so I've got it crossed out on number 5 as well.
Yeah, did you get a chance to Google, did you?
Yeah.
Now then, question number 8 is Everyone Loves a Bernard, and this week it's billionaire Brum Brum man Bernie Ecclestone,
Ooh.
who last week became a dad again at the age of 89, which is enough to make you do a little sick in your mouth. Can you imagine the logistics of that?
He doesn't have to think about it. He's got 8 billion in the bank. He's just having a go, isn't he?
But what I want to know about Mr. Bernie Ecclestone is what's the age difference between his latest child and his oldest child? Is it A, 45 years? Is it B, 55 years? Or is it C, 65 years? So Bernie Ecclestone has become a dad again at the ripe old age of 89, and he must be getting a bit ripe by now. But what's the age difference between this new child and his first child? A, 45 years, B, 55 years, C, 65 years.
Crazy that.
That's... I can't really go on record to give my opinion on that. I should just be a professional quiz dicky. Question number 9 is television, and when we're on tour, we'd like nothing better after a gig than to watch some late night Bullseye when we get back into our room. Can I get a hell yeah?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, Bullseye started in 1981, but what year did it finish? Was it A, 1994? Is it B, 1995? Or is it C, 1996?
We're including the later series with Dave.
Dave Spikey did a little bit. We're just talking
We're
original Bullseye.
talking original.
Yeah, Bowen or nothing.
Bowen era Bullseye.
So not this one that's been on this weekend either.
No. So
Not repeats.
we're not talking repeats. We're talking original run of Bullseye Bowen.
So we've got a 3-year spread. What's the 3-year spread again?
A, 1994. B, 1995. Or C, 1996.
I wasn't born then, so.
What, in 96?
No.
You're a fresh-faced hot potter. Last but by no means least, it's number 10, which is our pot luck round. And listen to this, you just can't miss, tra-la-la-la-la-la. Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro are the only 2 actors to ever win separate Oscars for playing the same character. Is that true or is that false? So Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro are the only 2 actors to ever win separate Oscars for playing the same character. Is that true? Or did I just make that up and it's false? Those are your 10 questions for this week, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached half time. A chance to hydrate and refresh your brain cells.
Well, you say refresh your blade.
Well, there you go.
brains.
There you go.
But
That's what happens.
I'm
with
halfway
soup.
through the dragon soup, and I can feel it.
And what does it feel like?
I'm not sure if it's the caffeine, but there's something. You can feel something. And it's a strange one, isn't it? Because if you had loads of keg, you'd want to go to bed. But this is loads of keg, but with loads of caffeine in it. So are you supposed to stay up or go to bed?
Like having a double vodka and Red Bull, isn't it? Something like that.
Well, we'll see how he fares by the end of the quiz. Let's go back to those answers. Question number 1 was music, and it was all about Norman Cook, and I said that Norman is not even his real name. What is Norman's real name? Is it A, Arnold, B, Archibald, C, Quentin? Now then, Bernard, you've met the man briefly. You talked to him when we were doing a little thing on Radio 1 many years ago. Did he give you any indication as to what his real name was during that conversation?
No, he held me briefly and then pushed me away. I'm going to go with Arnold.
Arnold. Thank you very much for that. Bob?
Yeah, all quite nice names, weren't they? I didn't know, so I kind of guessed Quentin.
Quentin. Okay, thanks for that. Kenny?
Yeah, I haven't met him, and you know me, even if I had met him, I wouldn't remember what his name was. So, I just went with Quentin because it was the other 2 began with an A and that one didn't. So that's the one that stood out.
Odd one out for Kenny. And Ron?
Well, I've gone a bit different, and I went with Archibald.
Ladies and gentlemen, Norman Cook's real name is C. Quentin Cook. His full name is Quentin Leo Cook, by the way. There you go. When I shook his hand, I found his hand to be quite sweaty, and I thought that must be quite difficult if you're a DJ.
Especially in a hot place.
Yes.
I took your hand, but I didn't shake it in the traditional way. I did it round the back.
That's because you're so young, Bob.
That's it. Born in 97. That's me.
A very tall gentleman as well. Very tall. Question number 2 was all about films. We were talking about the Beatles film Yesterday, which was written by Richard Curtis but directed by whom? Bernard, what's your knowledge of British film directors?
I think you all know. The only one I'd know is Guy Ritchie, and he makes things that films where cars go fast and people get stabbed. So I went straight with the sensible answer of John Smith.
John Smith, not even Alan Smithy. Oh, you could have had him.
John Smith.
Well, thank you for that Smith-like contribution. Bob?
I think I seem to remember being excited by the fact that this film was directed by this director. I looking forward to it. I think it was Danny Boyle.
Boyle, thanks very much for that. Kenny?
Yeah, I completely forgot about the Boylster. As with Bernard, I could only think of Guy Ritchie.
The Richmeister.
But yeah, it doesn't seem like a film he would make, so I'm not confident.
Well, you never know. Ron?
I went with Danny Boyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is indeed Danny Boyle.
Oh, it's obvious now, isn't it?
Danny Boyle.
Yeah. He did the Olympics, didn't he?
He did.
The Olympics, yes.
Good lad.
I thought it was okay yesterday. I thought it was.
No,
it was okay.
What do you think about it today?
But yeah, what about...
Question number 3, eggs, sausage, chips and beans, and we're talking beans, specifically the amount of beans the Heinz factory in Wigan consumes and boils up per week to make its delicious Heinz baked beans, and how many tonnes. And we were said 800 tonnes, 900 or 1,000 tonnes. What's your tonnage guesstimate, Bernard?
Hopefully my weight perception is better than Bob's. 1,000.
1,000 with lots of zeros on the end. Cheers for that, Bob.
Yeah, well, I've been swatting up on weights all week. I've also put 1,000.
1,000 tons. Lovely stuff. Kenny?
I wasn't sure, so I went straight down the middle with 9,000.
Straight down the middle. And Ron?
I thought the other two sounded a bit too much, so I just went with the 800.
800. Ladies and gentlemen, Heinz boil up 1,000 tons of dry beans every week to make their cans of beans. So if you put 1,000 and you put C, well done to you.
How many tons of trumps will that be converted to at the other end?
It's what's the measure? Pounds per square inches. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
It's going to be a lot. Gusts.
Look,
Potent
Bob.
gusts.
Beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot.
Appearing on a Bernard Thrasher solo album, coming to you soon. But question number 4 is bitter lager, cider, ale and stout. And we were talking bitter, and we were talking John Smith's bitter. I nearly said the answer then as I was ad-libbing, but it dates back to 1892 and a brewery in which Yorkshire location? Bernard?
I think I've seen it on the can. Tad Yip.
Tad Yip. Bob?
Yeah, I kind of remember seeing something on a graphic. I think it's TADCASTER.
TADCASTER. Kenny?
Yeah, I just guessed at a TADCASTER. I don't remember seeing it, just guessed.
3 Taddies. Is Ron going to follow?
Full house, TADCASTER.
It is indeed a TADCASTER. It's the only thing TADCASTER's famous for, but you might as well be famous for brewing. So well done, a clean sweep across the hot pots. Well done to you lot. Will you fare the same way with question number 5, which is all about crisps, and what is reputed to be the world's most expensive crisps, made in 2017, flavoured with truffles, seaweed and matsutake mushrooms. 5 crisps in a box, a bit like a very expensive version of Bernard's Stacks. How much did that box cost? A, $46, B, $56, C, $66. Bernard, what say you?
It's a packet. Can't be any more than 46.
46. Bob?
Yeah, as always, you've got to go as high as you can, can't you? 56.
Well, no, that'd be 66, but...
I went down the middle then.
Straight down the middle. I like your reasoning there, Bob. It was
went down the
very
middle.
well thought out. Very well thought out. Kenny, is your reasoning any better than Bob's?
I was going to go down the middle, but then I thought, when people make stupid things like this, they're just going to milk idiots for all they're worth, so I went for C, 66.
Stupid prices for stupid idiots. Okay,
Yeah.
cheers for that, KB. And Ron?
Straight down the middle, 36.
You were right. If you went down the middle of the road, it was B,
Aw.
$56.
What's the point?
So, yeah, A tenner a crisp, basically.
And that was my original thinking, but then I thought, no, they'll just milk it for all it's worth. I was wrong. Never mind.
First answer,
I know. At least you know I'm not googling it. I genuinely did just change my mind.
Hey.
I don't see how anyone can a price of that much on a pack.
There will be people that will buy it. There will be a demographic of people who would buy it. Just to say that they bought it.
One thing I will say, they were for charity as well. So
I remember kicking off when Space Raiders went up from 20p to 30p.
As well you should. Question number 6 is about the Hotpots, and I said we played a variety of songs throughout our career, but there's still some songs we've never played. Which one of these is an unplayable song? A, technical support song. B, bog off. C, duvet day. Now, Bernard, you've got an encyclopedic knowledge of everything Lancashire Hotpots. This we know. What do you think?
Yeah, my memory's not great, but I think I've got this one in. It's DUVET.
Duvet day. Bob?
Yeah, I definitely remember playing Bog Off and the technical support song, It's Duvet Day.
Duvet day. Kenny?
Yeah, didn't we do like a different kind of version of technical support song where we all kind of stood at the front of the stage and did the claps and stuff? Yeah. So I remember doing that, and I seem to remember you guys playing Bog Off in your earlier days in the second album when you didn't have as much in the back catalogue, and I don't remember us playing Duvet Day, so after that ramble, it's Duvet Day.
Okay, and Ron?
Having only just joined 4 years ago, I went for a guess and I went Duvet Day.
Well, guess what? It's another clean sweep. It is indeed C, Duvet Day. Well done, chaps.
Nice.
And you'll notice at the bottom of my answer for Duvet Day, I've written Backstreet Boys.
Why have you done that?
Because it sounds a bit like the Backstreet Boys, doesn't it?
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think so. It's got a good groove and a good beat. It's like a
I've got a bit of a groove to it, yeah.
Backstreet's back, all right. Anyway, let's get on to pies and question number 7. And we were talking about key lime pies, and I said it's named after the citrusy key limes, which naturally grow in which American state? Okay, Bernard, the 50 American states, which one have you gone for?
Well, I don't know any American states. I couldn't give you one, so I've just written Flowrider.
Flowrider.
Not Orange County.
Bob?
To grow any kind of fruit, I think it's got to be warm, hasn't it? The only warmish state that I knew, it's famous for its sunshine, California.
California, Kenny?
No idea. It's a complete guess. First thing that came into my head was Texas.
Texas. Home base. And Ron?
I remember this being mentioned quite a lot on the programme Dexter, and I, for the life of me, I couldn't remember what it was set, but it was always nice and sunny, and I went with California. I did go Texas first time, but then I went California.
Yeah, Texas is a very hot and humid state. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is Florida.
Come on!
And the famous Florida Keys.
Bernard, lad.
Kenny, your reasoning there is the Orange County, but basically any citrus fruit grows there, you see.
Oh.
That has just taken my score from 1 to 2. Come on!
Wow.
The Florida Keys gets a mention in which song?
Do you want a scorcher?
Well done.
Do I get an extra point for that?
No, you don't. But you just get the consolation of being the first person to know that.
And whose song's that?
The Lancashire Hotpots, Few What a Scorcher.
I would know. Only just joined.
You've only just joined. Everyone Loves a Bernard is question 8, and we're talking Bernie Eccleston, who's fathered a child at the age of 89. What I want to know is the age difference between this child and his oldest child. A, 45 years, B, 55 years, C, 65 years. It's distressing whatever age it is, Bernard, but have a guess.
Yeah, just did the maths. He obviously can't keep it in his pants, so he must have ripped one out when he was 20. 65!
65! Okay, thanks for that, Bob.
I originally put 45, and then as you were recapping, you gave Bernie's age of 89. He is quite old, isn't he? So then I upped it a bit to 55.
55. Okay, Kenny.
Yeah, 65 is, it's mathematically possible, but I'm just really hoping it's not, so I've gone 55.
And Ron.
Yeah, second child at 89, or a new child at 89. I mean, I haven't just had a second one, and I'm 25. So I went with, same as Bernard. I did put 55, but then I went to 65 at the end there.
Prepare to vomit into your brew. It's 65 years age difference. So, yeah, that baby has now got a sibling, and they're 65 years older than them.
It's a modern family.
Unbelievable. Doing it for the money.
Third place, he's having a go.
He is, and can you imagine? Can you imagine? It must be like a
No.
no. I was going to attempt to make a joke there, but it would just make me physically ill. So
Last time I was with a new father, I didn't sleep for years.
well,
The early days, it was horrendous.
he's rich enough to have someone to do that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they're changing the baby's nappies, they'll probably change his at the same time.
I wonder if they get the same people to change the nappies they do to change the tyres. Just
And that's what you come to the quiz for. So question 9 is TV, and we're talking about Jim Bowen's original Bullseye run. Started in 81, finished in what year, Bernard?
I don't really know. What I do know is that I really like Bullseye, and I wish it had have gone on forever. I just went 95.
95. Bob?
Yeah, pure guess. Didn't really know. 1995.
1995. Kenny should have an encyclopedic knowledge of Bullseye, but I'm not too sure it'd cover the year it finished.
Yeah, I do love the Bullseye. I do love the Bowen, especially. I'm torn between 94 and 95, so I went for 95.
95.
No, you can't see that. It's not coming through.
Odd one out. I went 94.
The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B, 1995. Well done. The Hotpots are showing strong on a lot of questions tonight.
Yeah, I've had a little run there. I might not come last today.
Mm-hmm.
And question number 10 is our potluck question. And I said Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro are the only two actors to win separate Oscars for playing the same character. Is that true or is that false? Bernard, we know films isn't exactly your strong point, but think about the big hitting actors in the big roles. Does that seem feasible? Does it seem possible?
No idea, because I don't know how somebody would be the same person in a film that has already been made, so it can only have happened once. True.
Bob?
I didn't really know. I used the logic of your last sort of true and false questions throughout the past weeks. I seem to be writing the word false a lot and getting it wrong. So at some point it's got to come good. So I'm going to write it again. False.
Bob's reasoning false. Kenny?
Well, they're both name-checked in a Giant Root Sack song, but I don't think they've both been the same characters as far as I know. But I don't know much, so I just went false.
False. I don't know much. Sorry, that was Aaron What's-His-Face, who was on Top of the Pops 1989 on Friday night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
watched it.
No,
Friday night.
Friday night.
Friday night. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. I've had too many of these.
Yay. And Ron, what do you think?
Well, they both played Vito Corleone in The Godfather and Godfather 2, and I know De Niro won the Oscar for Godfather 2, so I'm going for true.
Ron's got it perfectly right. It is true.
I thought about that, but I thought, nah, it won't be.
Brando won Best Actor for The Godfather in 1972, and later De Niro won Best Actor in a Supporting Role for also playing Vito Corleone. Right.
Well, the funny thing is, movie fact, De Niro actually, when he was doing Taxi Driver after Godfather 2, actually drove the taxi for a while because he's all method. And someone got in the back of his taxi and he said, "Didn't you win the Oscar for Godfather 2?" And he said, "Do you think I'd be driving a taxi if I did?"
Fascinating facts. Right, those are your 10 questions. Add up your answers. Put your answers in the box below. You know what to do now, just so we can see whether you got more than your favourite Hot Potter. That'll be interesting to know. So we've only got 4 Hot Potters this week. So I don't know whether that means that... Does that improve your odds? I think it might possibly do. Bernard, I seem to think you might have had a bit of a strong week this week. What was your score?
Fellas, I want your reaction to be as wild as if numbers have just come in on the lottery. Maybe it's the dragon soup. Maybe it's because I'm worth it. 7 on 10!
Wow.
7 on 10. I think
forever.
there needs to be some sort of steward's inquiry about that dragon soup.
Yeah, we need to do a urine sample test.
Yeah, but I'm not going anywhere near that. Bob.
Found it in the back of the bus. It's fine.
I had also had a decent week this week. Good first half. I got 7 on 10.
Oh, I'm really excited. Kenny.
Well, yeah, I had another shocker. I only got 4.
Oh, never mind, mate. Never mind. And Ron.
Oh, 6.
Oh, that means there's another tie break.
Oh,
It's a
why
bloody
would you win, Bob?
You've used up your 2 tie breaks in 2
Oh.
weeks. Okay, here's your tie break for this week. Bernard, Bob, get ready with your answer. Listen to
Can you
this.
make it look about kilograms?
There's no kilograms involved in this. The world record holds for the fastest portion of chips served from scratch belongs to Henley's Fish and Chip Shop in Colchester in Essex. They took a raw potato, they peeled it, they chipped it, they cooked it to perfection and served it up, but in how many seconds?
Wow, seconds.
So, Henley's Fish and Chip Shop, Colchester, Essex, took a raw potato, peeled it, chipped it, cooked it, served it. How many seconds did that take? And just think about the process of how long it takes. Bernard, you've seen your mother cooking chips in a chip pan for many a year.
So it could be more than a minute, couldn't it? It could be like 94 seconds, couldn't it?
It could be 10,094 seconds.
Okay.
I just need you to think about how long it takes at great speed to pick, peel, chip, fry, serve a potato in seconds. The tension music is getting very tense. You're gonna have to hurry you, Bob.
Okay.
You have to hurry you. So Bernard, Henley's Fish and Chip Shop, taking a potato, peeling it, chipping it, cooking it, serving it. How many seconds do you think that world record process took?
I think it's faster than you people think because there's technology involved. I think automatic peelers. I watched an infomercial about a thing smack with your hands.
Slap chop. I don't think they used the slap chop. I think they actually, chopped it themselves, chipped it themselves. But anyway,
they've got the oil really hot. I think this could be quite fast. So I've gone really low. I've gone 20 seconds.
that is quite low, Bob.
Yeah, I think all the first parts of the process, peeling and chipping, they'll take mere seconds. The bit that take the longest will be the frying. If it's cooked to perfection, that will take a few minutes, I think. So I went with 160 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, in seconds, the answer is an amazing 222 seconds. That means, Bob, you're the closest, and that means you're the winner of this week's quiz.
Hey!
Okay.
Bob.
What a surprise.
I was really rooting for Bernard. I wanted him to have another win this week. I was really rooting for him.
I thought they'd had the oil right up and just gone flash fry, bang in. Out.
Yeah, but even if they have got the oil up to heat, it's going to take a few minutes to cook them.
That's why I said they were cooked to perfection. It wasn't merely a cosmetic process.
Yeah.
They were cooked for eating. So well done to Bob. That's another one notched up on his bedpost for week 16 of the quiz.
Excellent. Bragging rights for me.
Just extending that lead just a little bit more.
Right, you enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. I've got another 4 cans of dragon soup in the fridge.
He's not going to remember very much the rest of this week. Anyway, you lot, thanks very much for playing. Everyone at home, stay safe, and we will see you next Monday. Tatty bye.
Bye.